Okay.
Okay, can you see my screen? Okay. Okay, Cassie, we started doing something different here. I'm going to read the question. I'm going to read the answers. We're going to talk about which one we think is the right answer, and then I'm going to show all of the answers instead. So instead of let me go back. So instead of seeing just one answer, it's going to show us all four answers. So we'll see which one is correct, but it's not going to keep track of our answers. So we just have to think about, I mean, if everybody gets the right answer, but you get the wrong answer, you know you got to go study that one thing. We already know that, okay? So I'm not going to worry about the whole class as a whole. Okay. You've interviewed key stakeholders to uncover their business needs. You become aware of many factors that stakeholders think are true but have not been verified. You decide to document which of the following. So the definition here, factors that stakeholders think are true but have not been verified, is that to be processed?
Assumptions, yeah.
Assumptions. It is assumptions. Assumptions are factors that are believed to be true but have not been confirmed to be accurate, or could be true now but may not be true in the future. Okay, this is a case study. I'm going to go down and read the question first. What is the best description of Jason's summary in the case study? So Jason's summary is down here at the bottom, right here. Now, y'all tell me, do you want me just to read this, or do you want me to read the whole thing first?
This probably.
Okay. Case study summary provided by Jason. Swift mortgage applications require an average 45 days to process. The industry average is 30 days. This delay increases the number of abandoned loans by 5%, creating the potential loss for a $10,000 of revenue per loan for closing costs of $1.2 million per year. Additional costs are incurred if the customer is locked in an interest rate at the time of their application. Now that interest rates are going up, there's an estimated additional cost of $25,000 interest per 30-year loan, or an average $2 million per loan. So what's the best description of this? Is this a problem statement, solution performance measures, data collection, or cause identification?
A.
Problem statement.
Yeah.
Problem statement. Good job. And the answer is, the summary spells out a problem with its impacts. While no example is cited, the BABOK mentions problem statements in the technique's root cause analysis, but you understand what a problem statement is. So very good there. Next one. I think we have to read it for this one. Given the differences between two major stakeholders in the case study, Jason fears the decision-making may be a challenge. What can he do to establish how decisions are made concerning requirements, approvals, and priorities? We got to read the whole thing. Okay. Swift Mortgage is a major provider of mortgage loans and refinancing. They've been in the business for 40 years and enjoy a reputation as reliable, inexpensive, and customer-friendly company. They have a long-standing process that deliver high-quality results with an historic industry-leading error rate of only 0.05% of all loans produced. Of late, production delays, complaints about and abandoned loans have all increased. Abandoned loans are applications that have been initiated but never completed. They are especially costly to Swift since the lost revenue for non-completed loans is substantial. Any delays in loan processing also reduce profitability for Swift because the company allows customers to lock in mortgage rates at the time of their loan processing. If they are late in processing a loan and mortgage rates have gone up, they absorb any rate increases. If mortgage rates decrease during this time, they do not benefit since their policy is to pass those savings on to the customer. Marge Tullio is the Senior Vice President of Mortgage Production and the executive facing the most pressure to fix this situation. She believes a mortgage processing software suite would be the best solution to implement improved processing. Most of Swift's software applications have been internally developed and are not easily updated or interfaced together. Others in the organization are not so convinced that the mortgage suite is the best approach. They feel that modifying the existing applications could solve their daily delay problems, and it would be far less costly and easier to implement. Frederick Johnson is the CIO of Swift Mortgage and has a high-level plan on how to modify current systems to provide the needed improvements during the short increments and an exploratory approach. As the VP consults with the team likely to work on the problem, she is persuaded to take the time to prepare a formal business case. Jason Davis is the lead business analyst assigned to the team. He quickly assembled the following summary based upon available data. That's what we read a while ago. Marge, the VP, is happy with the summary reinforced above and provided an objective to the team to reduce processing time for the application to 30 days within a year. To help with that work, the team constructed some root cause analysis to help them focus on fixing the right causes. One of the tools that they used was a fishbone diagram, and the high-level results are shown below. They discovered through interviews that mortgage verifications were thought to be problematic and focused on that issue. So let me copy this. I discovered that if I copy it and drop it in the chat, I gotta open the chat first. Sorry, guys. There. Maybe not. Let me try it again. Copy image. It won't let me copy the image. Okay, so we're going to look at it this way. So here at the top, we got people and processes. In people, for mortgage verifications, we've got siloed functions and inadequate information sharing. In processes, we have manual processes, serial verification procedure, and inefficient verification processes. In systems, we have limited automation, which leads to lack of security and limited budget. In measurements, we have measure only complete cycle time. So they don't measure partial cycle time or pieces of it. They only measure complete. So given the difference between the two major stakeholders in the case study, Jason fears that decision-making may be a challenge. What can he do now to establish how decisions are made concerning requirements, approvals, and priorities? So should he ensure that a business analysis governance process is created and communicated? Define an appropriate way to conduct business analysis activities and communicate it. Work with the project manager to establish an escalation plan for resolving conflicts with approving requirements and setting priorities. Or should he develop an approach for creating and maintaining smooth relationships with stakeholders?
Oh, it's something about governance,
Yeah.
probably.
Yeah, A.
Okay, let's test it. That is the correct answer. This answer describes the purpose of the task plan business analysis governance and correctly addresses the question. It defines how decisions are made throughout the initiative, and if consensus is not reached, what are the escalation paths and who has the final authority to address any potential issues referred to in the question. Okay.
Yeah, quick
Next.
question here, please.
Yes, yes.
Not necessarily about the answers, but if we have like a case study that is, that much long, do you have any tip you can provide? Because I was trying to follow that, and at some point I needed to read it again, if I was by myself, I have read it again.
That is very normal. So this is what I would suggest. Read the question first, and then scan the case study to see if you can easily find where the answer is. In this case, they said the summary of, so it was easy to find. That's the only section we needed for that particular question. However, with the next question, it's not so easy to find. You really have to read it all. I mean, let Stephen in.
Thank you.
Okay. I will tell you that it's very normal in these super long case studies to have to read it more than once. It's like, what are they talking about? It's too much. And that's one reason I tell you, whenever you first start the test, go ahead and jump to question 50. That way, pretty much you've skipped all these case studies and you can just do the question, answer, and it almost builds your confidence. So thank you for asking. Okay. Next question on the same case study. The fishbone diagram in the case study reveals a number of potential root causes. Which of the following questions might be most relevant to help the team get closer to the root cause? So it gives us a lot of information. Just wish I could get it where y'all could see it. Let me try one more time. No, it keeps
You
trying
did it
to.
last time, I think, the same diagram.
I think it was.
Can you try to click on the icon by the image, maybe? I don't know. There is a little icon. Yeah.
This one?
Well,
Here.
kind of insert it. Okay, never mind.
Or you
It's
can copy and
better
paste
than
from
it
there.
was. You can see it all.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Okay. That's much better. Okay, so let me put this on half my screen and this on the other half. Look at this. Okay. So fishbone diagram in the case study reveals a number of potential root causes. Which of the following would give us the question to get us closer to the root cause? I'm going to tell you, I don't like this question because you have to understand some things that aren't really in the BABOK to be able to get it right. So we're going to go through it and talk about it, and then we'll come back. Why do we only need to measure complete cycle time, which is this right here? Why do we need serial verification processes, which is this over here? Why do we have a limited budget? Or why are the functions siloed? So in answering this, I think we've talked about this before. The functions being siloed is probably not something that our project is going to be able to address. It may be, but probably not. The limited budget, our budget's
Okay.
not, I mean, our project is not anything about the budget. So we have two possible answers, in my opinion. What do y'all think about this answer?
I think I got this wrong last time. And I thought it was A, but I think it ended up being B.
Serial verification process.
So what would be the benefit of doing something other than measuring complete cycle time? Like measuring the time for each step in a whole cycle? That would help us identify like KPIs for each step, right? And this says they only measure complete cycle time. So that was interesting to me. And the other one is, why do we need a serial verification process? They've got serial verification procedures. They've got manual processes. This says it's inefficient verification process.
Yeah, so maybe this is the right one. B.
Okay. So let's go up and submit. The actual answer, a useful line of questioning since it could lead to understanding of the root cause of the slow verifications. Since process issues appear in the diagram several times, it's the most likely source of the cause. And this one, data collection, is more useful, more helpful in measuring the nature and magnitude of a problem's effects than it is for discovering the root cause. So this is the reason that we went with this one instead of with this one.
Mm.
Okay. Next. As the project progresses, Jason is diligent about recording requirements relationships. As he is adding some functional requirements to his repository, he wants to note their relationship to the business objective of reducing process time for 30 days. What type of relationship is Jason needing to record? So the relationship between the requirements and the business need is what we're asking for. Remember, they have different names for different kinds of relationships. Is it a depends, a derive, a satisfy, or a validate? Cassie, you are on mute if you're talking out loud to us. I know you're talking, but I don't know if you're talking to us.
I was thinking, I was saying B for derive, but I'm still processing it through, actually.
I
Okay.
think it's satisfy.
You have satisfy? Okay. Has everybody made a decision on what they would pick if they were sitting at the test right now?
Derive.
Okay. Show all. The correct answer is derive. The functional requirement derives its value based on linking back to the business requirement. So it's the business requirement coming to the functional, that's a derive. Satisfy is a relationship between the functional requirement and a solution component. This solution satisfies the requirement. That's how I remember it. Depends. A depends relationship happens when one requirement depends upon another requirement. Like the story I told you about, we were making customized books and we had to make the book and then we had to put the characters in it. Making the characters was no good unless we made the book. It was a depends relationship. And the last one it gives here, validate, is a relationship between a requirement and a test case. The test case validates that the requirement was met. And if you did not get that right, quickly go back and look at 5.1.4.2 because it's got the whole list in it and all of the explanations. Okay, next. Roma is a business analyst working on an upgrade of payroll system for employees. As part of discovering needs about the revised housing allowance, part of the salary component, Roma has arranged for requirement solicitation sessions with the relevant stakeholders having knowledge in this domain. Which elicitation technique Roma should use here to get the best results as per her plan? Should it be a focus group, an interview, a workshop, or a survey?
Workshop.
Workshop.
Okay, why do y'all like workshop?
It's the best way to discuss in a group of people relevant questions.
Okay.
And to discover what you need to know.
Agreed.
I like workshop also. However,
Focus
the purpose of focus groups are identifying needs, understanding ideas, and from a particular group of stakeholders. As this context is a specific topic, so business analysts should check for information from a specific group of stakeholders from a specific group in the organization. The workshop is there a need to collect information from stakeholders of multiple cross-functional business groups. So if I were to look at a group of people sitting in a room, I might not know if it's a workshop or a focus group, but that's the difference between it. A workshop is designed to get people of different perspectives and different levels of information, maybe different levels in the organization together so that they can all come to a consensus. A focus group is used to pull information out of them. The way that I remember the two is I one time was invited for a focus group to test my perception of frozen pizza. They had frozen pizza and they put it in a little oven and they brought it out to us on the table and they said, when you look at it, what do you think? When you smell of it, what do you think? Okay, take a bite. Now, what do you think? Would you buy this for your family? I mean, they were pulling information out of us about that specific thing. And I'm like, that's a focus group. So he needed to get information from this specific group of people about this specific thing. So it's a focus group. Focus on a specific thing. Jonathan is a business analyst on an effort and is validating requirements. Which one of the following activities would Jonathan not be performing? So he's validating requirements. What does that mean?
Making sure they
Aligning
line up with the scope.
They line up with the scope and that they're complete and ready to make the solution. Okay, so he would not be identifying assumptions, evaluate alignment with solution scope, define measurable evaluation criteria, or identifying measurable evaluation criteria, validation criteria. So let's start at the top. Would he be identifying assumptions?
Not at this time.
Okay, so we want to go with that one. That's our not.
No, it's B. right? No, oh, it's D.
D.
I definitely, yeah, I didn't think it was.
There is no such thing as solution validation criteria.
Mm,
Oh,
Um,
not
This
performing.
is one of the validation activities. This is one of the validation activities. And this is one of the validation activities. In this activity is where we identify assumptions. Also, you do it all throughout, but it's here. So if you didn't get that right, that's 7.3.4.1. K is a BA measuring the performance of a solution. Complaints about the solution have been increasing from end users. She went into the project archives to obtain how original stakeholders defined acceptable performance. Those criteria didn't seem to be the cause of the complaints, however. Among other things, stakeholders weren't happy with the overall maintainability of the solution. What else could help Kay in her analysis? Should she go back and look at stakeholder requirements? Understand how the original project objectives mapped to the business objectives at the time? Perhaps the business changed and the solution is no longer viable. Should she look at functional requirements, or should she understand how original stakeholders defined the expected characteristics of the solution? So can we eliminate any, guys? Michelle, if you're talking to us, we cannot hear you, darling.
No, I'm reading to myself. That one.
Okay, that's fine.
All right.
So let's talk about this. Overall maintainability. What kind of requirement would that be if it were a requirement? Is it a functional or non-functional requirement? It ends with ability.
non-functional.
Non-functional.
It'd be a non-functional requirement, so we can eliminate functional requirements.
Mhm.
Okay. So what do we think the correct answer is?
Maybe D.
Yeah, I'm thinking D too.
Okay. We got 2 votes for D. Let's test it. Ta-da! This is the definition of non-functional requirements analysis technique. The availability, capacity, maintainability, speed, etc. of the solution. If you had trouble with that, look at 8.1.6. Non-functional requirements analysis is a stated technique for which of the following tasks in the requirements analysis and design definition knowledge area. Non-functional requirements analysis, what we just talked about, is in specify and model requirements, verify requirements, prioritize requirements, or define design options.
Specified model requirements.
Tell me why you picked that one, Irina.
Oh, I excluded other. So if we do analysis, so we are not interesting. But non-functional requirements, it's quality attributes. Maybe B also could be an option. So not prioritize requirements, I would exclude it. Defined then options, not really is the next step. So I would exclude C and D and choose between A and B.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the purpose of B?
To check the quality of the requirements. And
Right.
these are non-functional quality characteristics. Yeah, maybe B is the right option.
Okay. I've got 1 vote for B. What do y'all think? My quiet bunch.
I think it's A.
Yeah, we go
Because
for A
one of
too.
the elements is to analyze the requirements after you model them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let's test it.
Mhm.
It is A. But Irina, your logic is good. Your reasoning is good. You just have to know that that's part of the specified model. Specified model is you model them and then you analyze them. Then you go into verify and validate.
Yeah.
Joni is preparing a document that justifies why the organization should invest in a proposed solution. In her documentation, she includes the evaluation criteria for the solution. What is the benefit of including the evaluation criteria? So first of all, guys, what document is she doing? What is this document? Got any ideas?
Business case?
I think you're
Yes.
probably right. I think it is a business case that justifies why the organization should invest in a proposed solution. So, options. Evaluation criteria provides guidance for ongoing decision-making throughout the initiative. Evaluation criteria will better help the organization define its priorities. Evaluation criteria may express contractual obligations and as such may be difficult to change for legal or political reasons. Our evaluation criteria refers more to expected return on investment than which would support the recommendation. So 3 of these are not true. What is evaluation criteria? Does it help ongoing decision-making throughout the initiative?
Maybe.
Okay, maybe. Will it help the organization define its priorities? Maybe not. Does it express contractual obligations?
No, definitely not.
Oh,
Okay, we can eliminate that one for sure.
Mhm.
How about, does it refer more to expected return on investment?
No.
I don't think so.
So
yeah.
It's
let's
A.
exclude C and D and maybe choose between A and B.
Okay,
A sounds better.
Yeah.
If choose between A and B.
Yeah, I think A.
okay, let's test it.
No.
Okay, so this describes a business case.
Hmm.
This is a strength of evaluation criteria, but doesn't speak to the biggest reason she should include it. This is acceptance, describes acceptance criteria, and this one describes evaluation criteria. It's expected return on investment, which would support the recommendation. So check out 10.1.4.1 if you didn't get that one right. You are a BA involved in an initiative to improve customer responsiveness at ABC Insurance. You and the team have narrowed down 2 potential solutions, one involving a software package and one that develops the solution internally. As you assess the potential net effects of the 2, you discover the following costs for each potential solution. This is a very typical question. I think 6 of your questions are going to be math problems like this. So the COTS package, grab a pencil and paper. The purchase price is $1,250,000. Installation is $150,000. Annual support cost for the first year is free. After that, it's $50,000. Training is included in the purchase price and customization of $200,000. The custom solution development is $1,800,000. Annual maintenance cost is $25,000, and training is going to be $25,000. So, which one has the lowest total cost of ownership, the TCO, over 5 years? I'm serious. Piece of paper and a pencil. So I would set it up COTS and custom, and then year 1, year 2, year 3, and year 4, and just start writing it in. I'm sorry, in year 5. So if you're
And
ready
I
to
think
write,
that the COTS, the D is correct.
tell me why you think so, Richard.
I did the math in my head.
So because first year is free annual support cost, so it's than cheaper in first year. And then you add annual.
Says support costs are 200,000. Customization is 200,000. That's 400,000. 1,400,000. So that's 1,800,000 is COTS package. And the custom solution right there is 1.8. So
With annual maintenance costs for 5 years. And then, 5 times, and then training is 25,000.
yep. So it's more than the COTS package.
Okay, so Richard's vote is for D. Anybody else do the math? Okay, let's test it. Richard is correct. The COTS solution has a total cost of ownership of all this money, which equals, it doesn't say what the equal is.
No, it says 1.8.
Oh yeah, 1.8.
Yeah.
Right.
And then it's
1.8.
broken down into.
Okay, that's it. Sorry, it was backwards. I was trying to go this way and find the answer at the end. It's like, it's not there. Okay. So I told you, and just being absolutely transparent, I think there were 6 questions on my test that were math problems like this. And I had to use my pencil and paper. And of those questions, I think in both times I took the test, 2 of them, I could not find the answer that I got on the screen. I tried it. It's like, okay, maybe I did it wrong. I'll try it this other way. I couldn't find the answer. Don't get discouraged because you can still pass the test if you don't get it right, okay? If you don't see the answer on the screen, you can still pass the test. Just do the best you can. I'm living proof. Okay, second question. Given your calculation of total cost of ownership and assuming equal benefits of the 2 solutions, which one would you recommend? Either option, given the total cost of ownership is equal for both options, you should find other criteria on which to base your recommendation. COTS solution, given the total cost of ownership is equal for both options, the organization is likely to receive benefits quicker with a COTS solution. Custom solution, given how close the 2 solutions TCO is, the customized solution offers greater possibility of fewer adjustments to current processes. Or the COTS solution, even though it has a higher total cost of ownership, it will be quicker to implement and benefits will accrue faster.
So I would exclude
mean,
either option here, yeah, because it's never a good answer.
So you don't like either option just because of the format of the answer?
Yeah.
Good reasoning.
I would say C.
I would say
Tell me
C
what
too.
you like to see.
Well, they're fairly close in TCO, but the customized solution offers better possibility to get it right the first time. Well, to customize it basically for the business. So
Make it the way the business needs it instead of
Right.
the business having to change to adopt the COTS. But the COTS would be quicker to implement probably. You don't have to build it in-house, right?
Yeah, so I would go for D, maybe.
I actually think it might be A, even though I agree that I don't like what it says. It's fact. If you can't evaluate it on cost, you have to find other criteria to evaluate it.
Okay.
I'm just confused. Didn't we just say the COTS was cheaper? So why are they equal for the total cost of ownership?
I think that's a fake one because that would give you the answer to the question before.
If they were equal, how would you do it?
Okay.
Because it's not given that it's more. You had to figure that out. And if you don't figure it out, then they're trying to trick you. Like, oh no, I have to go back. It's equal.
But
Yeah.
it said based on the calculation you just did.
But it can't give you the answer.
Can't give you the answer. Okay, so Richard
But I
is right.
eliminated all the answers because the COTS, they're not equal.
I know you lied. You lied. I hate this.
I know.
Okay.
Sorry.
So this answer is reasonable because the TCO of both solutions is roughly equal. A customized solution will, in most cases, offer the possibility of fewer adjustments to the current processes and would be easier to adopt.
Mhm.
I want to step aside from the test for just a second and talk about customizing your COTS packages. It's a landmine waiting to happen. You get something like Salesforce and you say, well, we're going to just customize this one field and this one field and this one field. And then later there's an upgrade or something and they can't do the upgrade because you've customized it, or you have to, they
Yeah,
want
it's a catch-22 though.
I know, but the ideal situation is find a COTS that meets your needs as it is and don't customize it. Because customizing is going to lead to problems down the road potentially. So just if somebody says, oh, we're going to customize it, it's going to be great. Well, maybe you should find something that actually fits your needs if you can.
Or change your business process.
Yeah.
Confirm
Yeah.
your business processes to whatever.
And it may be that what the COTS has would be better than your current processes, but you got to make that decision. I've just seen customers literally, I mean, companies lose literally hundreds of thousands of dollars because they did this and it put them in a corner. And then it's like, why can't we update? It's going out of, it's horrible. It's just a nightmare, and I don't want you to experience it. Rose is facilitating a workshop to elicit requirements for a process improvement project. She wants to ensure that all participants have common understanding. How should Rose proceed? So how do you get, for a workshop, how do you get them all to have a common understanding? Is it begin by providing the purpose and desired outcomes? Begin by agreeing how decisions will be made? Begin by establishing agreed upon ground rules? Or begin with an icebreaker?
I think if you start with the purpose and what the expectations are for the outcomes, everyone will be on the same page going into the meeting.
Okay,
Mhm.
I like that idea. Anybody have a different idea or the same idea?
Agree.
I need a second vote.
I think D is fun, but I would think A too.
Okay. Begin by providing the purpose and desired outcomes. Very good. Which decision model is used for more complex decisions? Is that decision tables, decision trees, decision requirements diagrams, or decision analysis? Guys, which of these are not in the BABOK?
Decision requirements diagrams.
Not in the BABOK. Which of these are not models?
I don't
So
think
maybe
analysis
decision
is
3 is the
either.
right answer.
Decision tree is the right answer.
Wow. Oh, wow.
Okay, so decision requirements diagram is used for complex decisions. Decision trees represent a set of business rules and are not used for complex decisions. Decision tables are used for things that have consistent formatting. For instance, customers at a bank need to receive invoices, and their first invoice to their default location is free. Their second invoice to the default location will cost money. So it's easy to put it in columns and say, is it default location? Is it the first invoice? Now we have an answer. You could put it in a grid. And then a decision analysis is a technique versus a model.
Mhm.
Which of the following is not an approach for observation? Is passive, job shadowing, active, or unnoticeable?
What is job shadowing? I don't get it.
Job shadowing is
Mm.
whenever you just kind of watch somebody do their job.
So that's you're observing, so that's an approach.
Mhm.
unnoticeable. I am thinking it's that.
Okay. Test it.
Oh,
So job shadowing is another name for observation. Wait a second. Says it is observation. And this says it's not observation. I think this one's wrong, guys. I'm going to take a screenshot and tell them what they can do with it.
yeah, they're all.
Yeah, it doesn't work, does it? Okay, so this one, I need to put a line right here that says it is not an approach because it is observation. I don't know what's wrong. Okay, I'm just gonna save it. I mean, that seems wrong, doesn't it? Am I thinking about it wrong? It isn't a
That's
job.
not an
Well, it
approach, it's
says
just a way
this
to
is
observe.
Which is job shadowing an approach in the BABOK?
Oh, I'm sorry. The BABOK states three things as approaches for observation. One is passive, one is active, and these two are both passive. I don't like this question. I'm
Yeah,
just
me
going to say
neither.
it.
That was very confusing.
Is unnoticeable
Yeah.
a word?
Unnoticeable, yes. Yes. It's not noticeable pushed together. What is the key purpose for maintaining requirements? To build a database of requirements that will ensure requirements are not missed in development, to ensure and organizational assets are updated and managed, to help ensure testing is performed effectively and requirements are traced to test cases, or to manage the requirements throughout the requirements lifecycle and enable reuse of those requirements in other solutions.
D.
There's a key purpose.
Yeah, I like D.
D.
Okay.
Reuse.
Maintaining requirements ensure requirements are accurate and consistent throughout their life cycle and help support their reuse.
Yeah.
5.1.2. You're a business analyst assigned to your first Agile project. To better prepare, you're researching the role of the business analyst in the world of Agile. You come across a blog authored by a self-proclaimed expert in the field of Agile who states the role of business analyst is limited and will soon be eliminated in Agile projects. Which of the following best refutes that statement? How about turning off your browser? Business analysis is a stated role. Anyone who performs business analysis tasks can be considered a business analyst. Business analysis is performed through many varying perspectives, one of which is Agile. All of the tasks described in the BABOK are relevant within the context of Agile, but they may be performed somewhat differently. The business analyst role will continue to be performed within Agile projects, though the scope of the work and the tasks of the current framework will likely change. The blogger is correct in the role of business analysis is not prescribed and eventually will not be needed for Agile projects. Let's eliminate one.
Oh, I see. I think A is the right answer.
You like A?
Mhm.
Okay, got a second vote? Anybody?
I'm leaning towards B. I definitely think we can eliminate D and C.
BABOK says it's anyone who performs business analysis tasks is a business analyst.
That's true. It does say that, but will it refute his statement?
I'm just curious what Michelle has to say since she's been studying for the Agile.
I like B too, but I feel like I can agree with A because
A is true.
That's
I
how-
just don't know if it's
A's
the
true.
answer.
What they're looking
but I feel like
True
maybe A is
statement.
more BABOK.
B, yeah, I also like B.
Let's test it.
Mhm.
Okay. BABOK 1.2 discusses Agile as one of the perspectives in the BABOK. Moreover, Agile approaches are taken into consideration when planning the business analysis approach. Is it Agile? Is it waterfall? Speaking of that, let me show y'all something real quick. This is it. I'm going to drop the link to this in the chat because I did this and then I was like, this is so cool. Let's see if I can. It will not let me drop anything in the chat. There, you got it. This is an analogy, an allegory of a team that's made into a car. So like the brakes and the safety systems, that's testers and QA. Navigation system, it's the solution architects and technical leads. And then it goes down into the business analyst. We're the engine, the electrical system, and all the sensors. And I love this idea because it doesn't matter what vehicle it is, that's the function that we perform in a team. So if you have a chance to look at it, I think you'll enjoy it. I hope. I hope you agree. And if I miss somebody, if I missed a role, let me know. It's time to administer the annual employee satisfaction survey. Last year, less than 12% of the co-located employees returned the online survey. Gene recommended discontinuing the survey given the low response rate, but the governance team elected to give it another try. What could one infer from the low response rate? The employees don't see anything changing as a result of the survey. The employees don't have time to complete the survey. The employees do not believe their answers are anonymous, so fear retribution, or the employees do not see value in completing the survey. So the BABOK talks about why people wouldn't participate in a survey.
Maybe D, don't see a value.
Okay.
Or A, don't
Or
see
A,
anything
yeah.
changing as a result of the survey.
Okay.
A, even better.
Okay.
But I mean, both A and D are kind of the same.
Same.
I mean,
Right. We don't know if last year was the first year that they did it and they got 12% last year. If last year was like the 8th year that they did it, I could see this one being the answer. Because they
so
got,
I would say D then, because we don't have enough information to know how long this was done.
Okay, let's test it. Maybe I was wrong. D, employees probably don't see value in the activity. General knowledge regarding motivation through the BABOK does speak to value assessments in the business case discussion as you're trying to figure out, is it valuable to do the action? It's time to administer the, I'm sorry, same question. What might Gene do to bolster the return rate of the survey? Offer an incentive for all personnel in the organization if the response rate reaches 80%. Offer an individual incentive for returning the survey. Have an objective third party administer the survey in person or perform root cause analysis to address the underlying reasons the survey isn't being returned. There's one answer in there that I hate. Do y'all have one that you hate?
Offer incentive.
Yeah. That just removes the anonymity, you know? And part of the reason people wouldn't return surveys is like, I don't want them to know I did it.
We actually did an exercise where we did the root cause analysis for why our employee surveys were at a lower rate. And then we tried to come up with solutions. And some people actually said individual incentives. But I'm like, well, some people say it's not anonymous enough because it asks for the department and they think people can figure out who they are. So you can't give them an incentive.
Right?
So D, I would go for D.
D.
Yeah.
Ta-da! This would be optimal, and it doesn't have to take a long period of time. This is a key to understanding solution limitations, either inherent in the solution or in an enterprise. Glad to see, Sandra, that y'all made perfect sense according to the BABOK.
Sometimes we get it right.
It turns out that the primary reason the survey isn't being returned is that the questions are ambiguous. Personnel report not understanding what this is really being asked. How could this misunderstanding have been largely prevented in the first place? So how do you make a survey not ambiguous? Purchase a tried and true survey from a third-party vendor. Conduct a usability test on the survey before it was distributed could have uncovered areas of ambiguity. Conducted interviews instead, or conducted focus groups instead.
I like B.
I like B also.
B.
Yeah, I like B.
Correct. Piloting the survey with a small group of representative personnel might have allowed it for ambiguous questions to be corrected before distribution. Testing is a big deal. Kasi, testing in UX is a big deal. Test early, test often, test throughout.
Yep.
You just created stakeholder and solution requirements. What task did you just finish? Is this specifying model requirements, prioritize requirements, verify requirements, or structure requirements?
A.
Correct. Creating requirements is another way of saying specifying model. Gibson works at a financial institution in Toronto. The company is undergoing a significant change. Gibson is accountable for the solution scope and can provide insight to be utilized when assessing the changes. What type of stakeholder is Gibson? So Gibson is accountable for solution scope and provide insight for to be utilized when assessing the changes. Is he an accountable executive, a sponsor, a project manager, or a solution architect? What can we eliminate?
Account executive.
No such thing in the BABOK. First, there might not be such thing in the world. No, seriously, I got good. So is this a sponsor, a project manager, or a solution architect?
A sponsor?
I like sponsor, yeah.
Okay. Sponsor. The sponsor is accountable for the solution scope. Very good. The sponsor is the one who drives those stakes in the ground to say this is as far as we go and no further. Which of the following is not a stated technique for the defined requirements architecture task? Is it scope modeling, interviews, functional decomposition, or process modeling? Define requirements architecture. Do y'all remember the purpose of that one?
Yeah, it's the way I'm remembering it in my head is to put together the application package and verify correctness.
Okay. So which one of those would you not use, or which three do you use for that and which one is not?
I would definitely use functional decomposition.
Okay. So we know that's not the answer.
Maybe process modeling is not a right answer. Is a correct answer, yeah, for this.
This is your not.
Yeah, I would not use process modeling when defining requirements architecture.
Okay. Do you have a second vote?
Yeah, I agree. Process modeling.
Because
Okay.
scope modeling is a kind of, and interviews, you can interview people to do so.
Okay.
The
Let's
only
test
thing I'm
it.
thinking is solution scope is, yeah, okay.
You got to have your solution scope to.
That's an input. So wouldn't
Yeah.
scope modeling be done before that?
I
mean, I guess it's stated. If it's stated, it's stated, but
Yeah.
my logic didn't work there.
Well, I like your idea though. I don't know how to answer you right now, Sandra. Sorry, I told you I was going to be tired today. This has been a day. The specify and model requirements task can result in the output of the requirements or a design. What is the difference? So the output of requirements or output of a design. Requirements and design, they're used interchangeably. When the focus is on understanding the need, the output is referred to as a design. When the focus is on the solution, the outputs are referred to as requirements. The BA can only specify and model a design. When the focus is on understanding the need, the outputs are referred to as requirements. When the focus is on understanding the solution, the outputs are referred to as designs.
D.
D.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like D.
Okay. This is correct. This one is just backwards.
Mhm.
Requirements and designs can both be modeled using the same techniques. And this isn't true. There is a defining factor. They can't be used interchangeably. Greg is working on getting his requirements approved. Which stakeholders are responsible for ensuring the requirements meet quality assurance standards? Is it the tester, regulator, project manager, or operational support?
I would say the tester.
Tester.
Testers are often called quality assurance professionals.
Engineer, yeah.
They are responsible for ensuring quality assurance standards are met. I have often told young testers that they are the guardian and it's their job to stand at the door and not allow bad quality to go out the door. And they're
Shall
like,
not
"You can do that?" It's like it's your job. It's your job.
They're
I'll
like
support you.
Gandalf. You shall not pass.
For real. For real. What is your favorite color? Miriam is a BA who's working to improve the ability of the help desk to resolve more end user issues on the first call. She has documented she's documented year-to-date first call resolution rates and is working on identifying the root cause for calls needing escalation to other support groups. During her analysis, she receives first call resolution results for the last 2 reporting periods that showed marked improvement from her baseline year-to-date results. What is most likely happening? The original year-to-date results were most likely flawed. There are most likely internal and external influencers at play that are altering the current state. There was a software update and the help desk was flooded with calls that were easy to resolve. The help desk obtained new resources that were more knowledgeable and therefore could resolve more calls internally.
Initially.
So it's the first call resolution or referring them escalating to other support groups.
I like B.
I like B.
Okay. You're correct. There is most likely internal and external influencers at play that are altering current state. The BABOK says the current state of an enterprise is rarely static while change is being developed and implemented. As such, current state can never be really baselined. That was a really hard thing for me to wrap my head around. It's like, no, we documented current state and now we're working on future state. What do you mean you're changing things? You know, don't move my cheese, that thing. Miriam is a BA who's working to improve the ability of the help desk to resolve more. Oh, sorry. I already read that to you. What's Miriam's best next step before continuing with root cause analysis? Research what, if anything, in the environment changed to understand the cause of the marked improvement. Modify root cause analysis activities to the categories of calls that were not resolved on the first call during the last 2 months. Report to the sponsor that the problem is improving on its own and that pursuing the initiative isn't cost effective at this moment. Double check the year-to-date results to ensure data precision and integrity.
A.
Yeah.
Why do you like that one?
Because you need to understand what changed. I mean, we're saying that there could have been influences, so to be able to analyze it, we need to know what they are.
Okay. Let's test it. So this may be end up being the best course of action, but it's not the best next step. First, you need to be sure that what has changed so that you can get to root cause. Okay. Which list describes a complete set of tasks in the requirements, analysis, and design definition knowledge area? Guys, I'm not going to read them all to you because you're going to end up comparing them anyway, and you're going to tell me which ones have which things that are unique. So tell me which ones you want to eliminate, and I'll start from there.
requirements analysis, definitions.
Assess risks is an element, not a task. So C, Charlie, would be out.
Okay.
So maybe D, also eliminate prioritize requirements.
Yep.
Oh, we have 5 tasks
The answer is
for this knowledge area, and all in D besides prioritize, I think.
Okay. So you want to eliminate both of these?
Depends.
yes.
Oh, requirements, architecture, analyze potential value.
So these are
like
the same.
B.
This one has this.
I think it's B.
I think it's B.
You're correct.
Mhm.
This is a complete set of tasks. Very good. Which statement best describes the planned business analysis approach task? The timing and sequencing of work, the deliverables that will be produced, techniques and tools that may be utilized, and guidelines that may be followed. Ensuring the governance process, approvals, and prioritization of requirements and designs are in place. Planning analysis work from selection of methodology to use to planning the individual activities, tasks, and deliverables. Identifying the activities required to complete each deliverable and then breaking each activity into tasks.
So B is plan, business analysis, governance.
So C may be an answer.
No, the time.
Let's see.
C.
It's selecting a method.
You're correct. This describes the most complete definition as the emphasis is on planning the business analysis approach. Quinn is analyzing the gaps between the current and desired future state. She also wants to understand the suppliers, inputs, processes, outputs, and customers of the process she is analyzing. What process analysis method would help her achieve her goal? So,
CBAP.
very good. CBAP 10.36 if you had any questions. I'm like, this is CBAP. Business analysis assists in planning the timing of the implementation to ensure all parties understand the impact on the organization and to ensure minimal disruption. Which of the following factors do not guide implementation? Would that be resource constraints, ability to of the organization to absorb the change, project approach, or training schedules?
I'm guessing project approach. Because I don't know that it being agile or waterfall would matter.
Okay. Anybody else?
I agree.
Okay. Project approach is not a stated factor in transition states and release planning. Okay, guys, let's do a few more and then wrap it up for the night. The following statements are accurate about the brainstorming technique. Which one is not? Group participants must agree and avoid debating the idea raised while actively brainstorming. Success is dependent upon the participants' imaginations and originality. In the absence of a group, one could brainstorm on one's own to spark new ideas, or brainstorming works by focusing on several topics or problems and then coming up with one possible solution.
D.
D.
E, yeah.
You're correct. This is the opposite. Brainstorming works by focusing on a topic or problem and then coming up with as many possible solutions to it. I heard of a brainstorming technique the other day that I've never tried. Y'all might try it. Instead of figuring out solutions, you figure out what would be the worst thing to do in this case. You know, set the building on fire, you know, whatever, to in response to this. And then they say, okay, we have the worst problem. What would be the opposite of that? Which makes you think about it like coming from the back door in. What would be the opposite of doing the worst thing in this situation? I haven't tried it yet. Okay, guys, I can't read this. Do y'all mind if we stop for the night?
No.
Not at all.
Nope.
That's a lot. Yeah, I'm tired. Did anybody attend the meeting earlier? I don't think I saw anybody here that was there.
Yep.
Was somebody there? Oh, Rich, you were there, right?
Yeah, I was there.
Okay, good. I'm glad somebody was there. Okay, good. So our 11-week SDLC experience workshop starts next week, and it's going to be a blast. Who in here is taking the tests in the next 2 weeks? One?
And Robin, and that's why she's not here. She's been studying all day and she's probably burnt out at this point.
He probably does not care anymore, right?
Yeah.
Okay. You two are. And then Stephen, you're taking yours pretty soon, right?
Yeah, the 19th.
The 19th.
So our last week of class.
Okay. All right. So you got another at least 2 weeks. Okay. Very good. I'm here to support you guys. You know, I'm been pouring. I do what I can. I have a lot of confidence in you though, because you're answering the questions with good understanding. And you're reasoning, even if you don't know the answer, you're reasoning through it and you're able to get to the right answer most of the time. Remember, we don't know what the score is that you have to achieve, but it fluctuates based upon the other people taking it. If you're having trouble, they're having trouble. So just know your amount of effort you put into this far exceeds most people's. You're probably going to be just fine. Okay?
I hope so,
Right,
because I don't
guys.
want to do it twice.
No.
I will
doesn't
if I have
kill you.
to, but I don't want to.
Right. It doesn't kill you, but it's not the most fun thing you could do.
Thanks,
Okay,
everyone.
guys.
Thank
Have
you.
a good evening.
Thank
night.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.